What's up, gamers and collectors? DGC back with another video, and today got something really sweet here. This is a gigantic box of 360 exclusives. However, wanted to discuss one public service announcement to my fellow collectors before we check out what's in this box. Let's talk about it. So, as you can see, if you're a regular subscriber, if you're not, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that like button if you enjoy what you watch. As you can see, there's a full 360 here, here. There's more up here. I've been going buck wild on 360 collecting. Been just trying to get shit as cheap as I possibly can before the prices keep going up. And I've kind of been doing it for the last like 6 months, and then really hardcore over the last like 2 months. Been kind of like keeping it under wraps because I just didn't want anyone to know what I was buying. Obviously, I'm buying the exclusives to continue the A to Z Xbox 360 exclusives after I finish the A to Z original Xbox exclusives. I digress. The public service announcement that I wanted to say, because I don't think GameStop has publicly stated it yet, or I probably would have seen it. I've talked to 4 different managers at 4 different GameStops around me. They are going to start redoing retro games in the store, finally, again, for the 3rd or 4th, 5th time that they've, flip-flopped on having retro games in the stores. But they're doing it again, which is wonderful. As I was walking into a store today after work, the guy was literally putting the 360 games back on the shelf. They had a nice row of PS3 games, nice second row of PS3 games, and then he had probably about 40 360 games, most of which, surprisingly enough, PS3 and 360 were all complete in box. They did have one game at that store that I wanted to nab, and it was in really good condition, and that's Max Payne 3. Obviously, you know me, complete in box. And I used my $5 reward, monthly pro reward thing that you get, and got this for $3. So you really can't beat that for $3 for a physical copy of Max Payne 3. This is a really great game if you haven't played it. Not exclusive to the Xbox. It's on the PS3 and Steam. Steam being the definitive way to play it for a long time. However, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure this plays on the Series X, and it gets a frame rate boost up to 60, and then it also gets the auto HDR, so it probably looks pretty decent on the Series X at this point. So I'm going to definitely replay it on that, and if it's not on the Series X, which I'm pretty sure it is, I'll just play it on my 360 to re-enjoy it. I played it on Steam way back when it came out. Or actually, no, it wasn't on Steam. It was on the Rockstar launcher, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember. Either way, now, a rare title that I did find at GameStop, and it was $10. Well, rare in the sense that people are trying to collect it now. This was $10 and $9.50 for the Pro membership, and that is Velvet Assassin. It gets better, though. It even had that bonus disc. You can't beat that. Now, is that going to happen every GameStop that you go to? Probably not. However, this was an incredibly lucky find on my part. So what I'm getting at is make sure that you start asking your local GameStops, what they have. They'll print out a sheet for you, or if you get chummy enough with them, they'll let you behind the counter and just kind of, flip through the games. Like most of the game stores I go to, they know who I am at this point, so they kind of just let me behind the counter and flip through the games. If you're cool with them, they'll let you do it. But yeah, both those 2 great games. Really happy to add to the collection. I had Velvet Assassin a long time ago. However, I sold it, but it is exclusive to the 360. All right, now for the meat and potatoes of this video. This is a gigantic box from Canada Land. I found this really cool website during the heat of these prices going up. I was like, man, I got to find these games. I need these for the exclusive videos. This is a full box of exclusives. This is 18 360 exclusives in here. I had to get these, and I had to get them quickly before they keep going up in price. And even since I bought them, they have gone up even more in price, which sucks. But I did grab nice complete in-box copies so that I can make content, and because I want to play them. Most of these myself are actually fairly good games that I actually really wanted to own. The first thing I noticed off the bat, I did actually pre-open this and kind of look at everything because I was kind of too excited. I was going to try and wait. One thing I did want to note was, I'll link this guy's store in the description down below. It's justforfungames.com. It's up in Canada, so I'll link it down below. He will ship to America. I don't know about anywhere else, obviously in Canada as well. Really cool guy. He actually called me to make sure that I purchased these games. Because he was like, hey man, I just want to make sure that this is a real dude and you're actually buying these. And I was like, yeah man, I make Xbox content. And he's like, okay, sounds good. This actually got like lost in the mail for like 2 weeks. And I was sweating bullets. I'm like, no, where did my games go? But luckily, they ended up turning up while I was at work on Saturday. Today's Saturday. And I was so excited to get home and open this up. So I couldn't even wait for the video. I was like, I got to peek at these games real quick and, you know, look at them and whatnot. So yeah, we got 18 360 exclusives here. Enough yabbering, Alex. Go ahead and show us what you got in here. A lot of these are pretty cool. Some of these you may or may not know of. But definitely all exclusive to the 360. This is Dark Messiah Might and Magic Elements from Ubisoft. So this is a Might and Magic game. However, when you turn it over, and I've never played this, so I don't know much about it. It's made by Arcane Studios, which is, I believe, those are the people that did the Dishonored games, and those are the most recent games that they did. I guess this was what they did before. So I imagine it plays pretty well. This one screenshot here, and you're not going to be able to see it, but it literally looks like Oblivion. It looks like first-person Oblivion, which is not a bad thing, because Oblivion is fantastic. It's the best Elder Scrolls. So I'm definitely excited to play this. It actually looks kind of solid. It looks like sort of a sword combat, magic combat, but like in first person. So looks pretty good. You know, for the longest time, I thought this was like a Warhammer game, just from like the orc that's on front. But it's part of the Might and Magic series, which is a really old PC franchise that Ubisoft owns and now neglects. I guess that probably would have been the last entry in the franchise, if I'm not mistaken. So here's a game for the 360 that quickly shot up in value. And it's been well known that it's exclusive to the 360. I don't know what took it so long, because it's even from Software, and that being Tenchu Z. I have owned this in the past, had to reacquire it. All these games are complete in box, and I did check that before I started the video, although those are the ones I purchased anyway. But and what's cool about the guy's website is he's very, in a good way, very particular and very anal about how he lists stuff. He'll put it, has, you know, bonus CD, has slipcover, has, you know, complete in box. He does it the way I would do it. He like, you can tell the guy, you know, cares about the customer, and it's just a really solid store, online store. It's a physical store in Canada. If you live up in Canada, you can go to the real store. I think you even have 2 locations. But in, you know, in America, obviously, you just got to get shipped here. But so he had this listed, you know, all of them complete in box. Tenchu Z. So obviously, this is a Tenchu game, 360 exclusive. From Software. Say that 3 times fast. But excited to give this a shot. I've played the Tenchu game on the OG Xbox, which was also exclusive. This was back when Microsoft actually tried to get exclusive games for their console. They would say, hey, you know, here's 20 million, give us that game exclusive, you know, and buy out exclusives. I don't care when system owners do that, because it makes me want to own your system when you have exclusive content for it. Tenchu Z, for example. Had I even known about this way back in the day, like I love ninja shit, I probably would have gave this a shot back in the day. Didn't know about it during its lifespan, but you know. Here's a really cool one right here. Not expensive at all. I don't know that I would say rare. It's uncommon because this was a launch window game. So it's probably limited quantities just because there wasn't a lot of 360s out at the time. This was on the OG Xbox, PC, and 360. So it's kind of like a Microsoft family ecosystem exclusive. I think that it was in development for PS2 and then never came out. Definitely no PS3 though, and that being Just Cause 1 for the 360. So it is a OG Xbox exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I might be saying, now that I'm thinking about that, I might be misspeaking. However, on 360, it is definitely exclusive. I have too many exclusives to try to keep track of. Between the 360 and the OG Xbox, it's roughly about 600 games. It's kind of ridiculous. It's very hard for me to remember them all. I'm doing my best. Bear with me. But when the actual videos do come out, I thoroughly double check them before I release a video so that it is accurate. However, for 360 wise, No PS3, no Wii, nothing like that. Only high def system this is on is 360. Alright, so here's a cool one that I don't really think is rare, but I don't see it really ever. And this came out, let's say, I don't know, I don't see a year on the back of this. But I would imagine this was relatively early in the Xbox lifespan. This is Field and Stream for the 360 exclusive. This is from 505 Games. It's basically a Cabela's game. Let's see here. Big ass manual right there. So definitely exclusive. If I'm looking at the back of it, it's got like a bolt action rifle. There's a guy doing some fishing. There's a guy hunting a moose. And then this guy's got his shotgun to this bear's head. So obviously you're just doing hunting in this game. Different various forms of that. Now here's a cool one right here. This being X Morph or Morph X. I want to say it's Morph X if I'm not mistaken. 360 exclusive. Was going to come out on the PS3. Never did. So it's exclusive to 360. Cool game. Haven't actually had much time to try it. However, I did watch some gameplay of it. It looks unique. It looks like a cool like hack and slashy type game with like this mutant dude. And I'm actually interested to actually give it a shot because it looks unique. I like getting weird games like that are like unique and not just like cookie cutter, copy and paste, same as everything else. Kind of a fun thing there. Here's a really old franchise. It started out on the PS2, worked its way to the 360 as an exclusive. And then dude, who is blowing my phone up? Stop it. And then it worked its way to the 360, and then I think it's kind of a dead franchise at this point, unfortunately. And it sucks because it was a cool concept. I think there was 3 of them on the PS2, and then this was the 4th one, if I'm not mistaken. And that is Katamari, and this is beautiful Katamari for the 360. This version is exclusive to the 360. There is a PS3 game that came out after that, which I think is, and someone correct me in the comments if you know, it's a different game, but I think it's same. Like same, but different. So again, I don't really know. I've never played either of them. Frankly, I've played a PS2 demo disc of Katamari. Dude, who is that? It's probably Cousin Nico blowing me up. But yeah, so we got beautiful Katamari here. The PS3 copy, I don't know how similar it is to this, but this one definitely exclusive to the 360. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry, turn that on silent. Alright, so here's another one. I have known about this game for a while, but you never see this game. And I really have always wanted to try it because, again, I really love kind of ancient Japanese mythology and just the history and culture of Japan, just because I'm a nerd and I love video games and it just kind of all correlates. Samurais, ninjas, all that shit. Let's be honest, most little boys love cowboys and ninjas and you know what I'm saying. So yeah, this is a samurai game. This is Way of the Samurai 3 for the 360. This is pretty goddamn uncommon. I have never seen this in the stores, so I'm glad this guy had a copy of it. It's from UFO Studios or publisher, whatever. Usually anything that they make is pretty uncommon. I guess they just do small releases or whatever. But so the first 2 were PS2 exclusives, and then the third one, Microsoft was trying back in the day, made it exclusive for the 360. It's a cool samurai game. I've watched some gameplay on it. It looks moderately decent, so I'm excited to give this one a shot and see how that one actually plays out. Now, here again is another 360 exclusive. This one started its life as a 360 exclusive and then eventually did get ported over with a definitive edition on the PS3. And then also has a definitive edition, more definitive edition on the Switch. And then its sequel came out exclusively on the Switch. And that being Ty Lord Stevenson's favorite weird B-movie style horror game, Deadly Premonition. So I owned this a long time ago. I had the PS3 version, I had the 360 version, had the Switch version. I believe I even streamed Deadly Premonition 2 on the Switch for a little while when I was playing, like an hour or 2 of it when I first got it. And so Tyler Stevenson, he loves this game. He rants and raves about it just because it's kind of like, it's like one of those shitty games that you hate to admit you love. This is that shitty game that Tyler Stevenson hates to admit that he loves. However, I think he actually genuinely loves this game. But again, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a shot finally, and maybe it is a good game. It's like that one, I think it's called Twin Peaks. I know that's like a horror show that like everyone like who's into horror stuff loves that show. All right, here is another kind of shooter, hunting, fishing type game, and that is Cabela's Alaskan Adventure. So this is actually a real Cabela's type game for once. And I was mistaken earlier when I said the fishing was on the Field and Stream. It was this one that has the fishing on the back of it. However, Field and Stream might have it because it says Stream in the title. Yeah, this is Cabela's Alaskan Adventure, exclusive to the 360. I think it was exclusive just because of when it released, and the PS3 wasn't even out yet, is why that happened. Yep, well, it says 2006, so it was probably pre PS3. That's why a lot of this stuff is exclusive, because 2006 was a huge year for 360 because so many people were like, oh, let's release high definition games, and PS3 wasn't out yet. So a lot of that shit just remained exclusive to the 360. So kind of a cool little factoid there. But Cabela's Alaskan Adventure, not that rare, but definitely on the uncommon side. I actually have 2 copies. I'm going to give the other one to my cousin for his complete in box collection. Now, this is probably the rarer game out of the set here, or one of them. I mean, there's honestly kind of a lot of rare games in this set at this point in time. I bought these luckily just in time before they went up in price. I got a very good deal on this. He actually even gave me a 20% discount because I had bought 2 really pricier games before this individually. And he's like, whoa, dude, what you doing? Let me give you a discount code. And I was like, thanks, man. So the least I can do is give him a shout out and put his store in the description, give him a little traffic his way. Much appreciated that he gave me a discount code for sure, because that helped with this order a lot. As you can see, it's a pretty big order. Knight's Contract here, not exclusive to the Xbox. It is also on the PS3, and unfortunately, the case did get smushed in the traversal from Canada to here. However, the guts and everything, the important stuff is fine. Just the case got mangled a little. So it is what it is. I'll just have to swap it out. But cool game here. I've actually been doing kind of like watching some reviews and just people playing it and whatnot. It actually looks like kind of a cool game that, if I had to take a guess, and it's Bandai Namco, if I had to take a guess, I would say this probably launched up against something big like a Halo, or I don't know, when did this come out? This was 2011, so later in the lifespan of the 360. So this probably launched near like an Uncharted or something like that, where it was like a big game that this just went under the radar. Because it looks like a cool little fun hack and slash game with an interesting story. A lot of people that review it seem to, they're not going to say it's great, but it's definitely an enjoyable game to play. So happy to add that to the collection for sure. Let's see here. Next up here, this is a 360 exclusive, and then also on the PC. And oddly enough, there's a nice little layer of dust on that. This thing's been chilling. Nobody knew this was a 360 exclusive. That's why it was chilling on his shelf for so long. This is Omerta, City of Gangsters. So this is a cool, what I assume is cool because I haven't played it yet, but it looks cool. It looks different and unique. It's like an isometric top-down view of, like, I guess you get to like set up, or maybe it's just how you play the game. But it is definitely like an isometric top-down view. It's like gangsters, like Chicago, kind of like 1930s looking vibe to it. It looks cool. I'm interested to try it. This was definitely a later 360 game. You can kind of tell when it was like a later 360 game when it's got like the giant green stripe here versus like when it has 1080p 56 kilobytes. So I don't know, just again another stupid factoid that I know about Xbox games. When it's got the giant green stripe, that means it's like it was a very late lifespan 360 game. But yeah, Omerta, City of Gangsters, exclusive, and then it's also on the PC too, for that matter. Now, here's a title here. When I knew that okay, so my good buddy, Fancy Action Now, he does a lot of shorts. That's all he does now is shorts, and then he'll stream gameplay of him playing games. But he's big into the shorts now, which is cool. I like doing them too from time to time. He's super into it. When I saw him do a short of this, I was like, man, it's over. 360 collecting's over at this point. Because when I saw him show this one, this is such a niche game that it's like you kind of have to go out of your way to like find this game physically, and then also just to like even know about it, because it's just like no one talks about this game. Again, it's just an unfortunate thing that got like swept under the rug back in the day. And when did this come out? This was 2006 again. But this one, Microsoft made it exclusive to the 360 on purpose. And actually, I presume paid Square Enix for this. And that is Project Selfie Arc of Deception. So this is like a cool flight space combat type thing. However, I have played this one a few hours. I liked what I played. However, this is the type of game that you have to fully immerse yourself in. You can't be playing nothing else. It's such a, at least for me, maybe I'm stupid, but it's such a similar to Steel Battalion, where there's just so much shit going on with buttons and commands and doing all sorts of shit and missions and this and that. There's just so much going on in the game that you have to give it your full undivided attention to play this game. With that being said, I never got super far into it. I did like what I played. The space combat was fun. It looks like a cool game, so I'm definitely excited to get into it. And as I said, when Fancy Action Now showed this in his little short, I was like, damn it, even he knows about that now. So I was like, shit, got to get a copy. And then that just ended up in this gigantic lot of games that I bought here. And again, I'll leave links for all these channels down in the description that I'm talking about. So here's a game that I've always wanted to own, and I've never found it because it's just a very difficult game to find. And luckily enough, this guy had it. Sure as shit. This is Samurai Shodown Sen for the 360. So this is a fighting game in the Samurai Shodown series of games. I want to say this would be number 6, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Sen means 6 in Japanese. I don't know. I think 5 was one of them is an OG Xbox exclusive, but I want to say it was number 4. So maybe 5. Maybe this is 5. I don't honestly know. However, what I do know is that this is, at least to my knowledge, when they switched it from a 2D fighter to a 3D fighter. So this is fully polygonal 3D fighting. What's cool is, so when I open it up to like kind of, just look at it and everything, look at that manual. Like, look at the cool like hand-drawn art style on that, and then even on the disc and everything too. Just a really nice piece. And like, there's just something lacking about games today when you open it and you get no manual and it's just white, or if it's got like a warning label on here, or like may cause cancer from sniffing the plastic. But it's just boring when you open up new cases. But you get something like that. It just, I don't know. Like as a kid, tell me if you can relate. Remember, just like close your eyes and just remember a time going to a store and getting a game. You were so excited to play it. You opened it up. You sat there. You breezed through the whole manual. You looked at all the pictures. You looked at the fighting moves. You looked at the characters. You looked at the power-ups, the items, and just, and then you would read the back of the case. And I miss bugging my mom to take me to the store to go pick up a game. Like, I would like frantically call like all the Gamestops and be like, do you have a copy of Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2? And then I would find it, and then it's like, it's $47.99. This was back like when it was like pre-owned still. And then I'd be like, Mom, you got to take me to the GameStop. Got to pick up Phantasy Star. All the homies have it, and I don't. And then, riding home the whole way home, looking at the manual. Good times. But yeah, Samurai Shodown. Really happy to add this to the collection. I actually really want to play this, so next time Cousin Nico comes over, which is tomorrow, he doesn't know this yet. However, we're going to play this together, and I'm probably going to whip his ass because I'm definitely better at games, period, let alone fighting games. So might try to record that. Hopefully you guys will catch that. Now, here's a really cool one. I've never actually owned this game. It is sort of exclusive to the 360. It was exclusive for a year. Then there was a PS3 version that came out later. So like kind of exclusive, but kind of not. But I always denote that in the exclusive A to Z list of, how or why I kind of deem it exclusive. So it was exclusive for a year. This is Vampire Reign for the 360. So I don't really know much about this other than this looks like Vin Diesel turned into a vampire. I really don't know anything. And then on the back of it, it's got like some guys and like some cool like futuristic SWAT gear with like the one Splinter Cell eye going on right here and everything. And actually there's a guy hanging from a roof. However, that's probably a vampire. But yeah, it looks cool. I don't know. I guess maybe it's some kind of, maybe you're like a SWAT team, but you're also a vampire. Or maybe you're hunting vampires. I'm honestly not sure. I just know that it is exclusive to 360. And I knew that before some of the other channels talked about it, I had to get it so that I could make content about it, because that's what the DGC channel is all about. Well, we're gonna save that one for last one. There's 4 more games here. This is a exclusive just by the nature of the fact that the PS3 wasn't out yet. At least yep. 2006. So this was pre-PS3 is why this is exclusive to the 360. And then it was made in the sense that it was probably too powerful to put it on the old systems, Xbox, GameCube, PS2, and PS3 wasn't out yet. And by the time it came out, they probably just was like, screw it. Plus, this game probably sold pretty terribly. Superman Returns for the 360. So there is a OG Xbox exclusive Superman game. There's also a exclusive Superman game on the 360. I don't know anything about it. I just know that it's exclusive to the 360, and it's based on the guy that was Superman before Henry Cavill. So this is the Superman Returns game based on the Superman Returns movie. So again, I don't really know anything about that. It could be a terrible game, not honestly sure. Here is another movie-based game for the 360, and I'm really happy to add this one to the collection because I did actually really enjoy this game, fully beat it. Beating this game, this was a launch title, you can get 1,000 gamer score just by simply playing the campaign. That's the kind of campaign your boy likes. I like that. I like getting lots of points. I just like playing the game and getting points. I have a decent gamer score. On Xbox ecosystem, I have roughly about 55,000, and then on the PlayStation ecosystem, I think I'm like a level 25, whatever that means, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then on Steam, I just have I have like 250 games on Steam, a lot of which I've beaten. And then, of course, Nintendo's lame and still doesn't have an achievement system. So, yeah. Yay. But yeah, Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. Really surprisingly fun game here. This is a movie game that's actually fun. You can get it on GameCube, Xbox, PS2, and 360. Obviously, the 360 version is going to be the best version because it's high def, and you get achievements, so it's the best version. I would dare say, even like this one has kind of always remained at a higher price tag just because it's like an older title and the 1,000 gamer score points. That was like a big thing for a while because like people knew you could easily get the gamer score points. There's 2 other games. One is a Avatar game, and the other one is what's the thing with Sid, and it's like and he's like a little badger guy, and there's like a squirrel. It's a Ice Age. The Ice Age game, this, and the Avatar game, those are 3,000 easy points you can get from playing those games. Ask me how I know. But yeah, so King Kong, this is still roughly about 50, 60, 40 to 60 in that range. It's kind of always remained that. It will probably always remain in that range. But it's actually a really good game, and I would say that it's actually worth that price. 1, because you get the gamer score, and 2, it's actually just a really fun game. Like it's a solid campaign of variety of gameplay and whatnot, and characters and this and that. And it's just a really good game. I do recommend this one. All right, so here's one that I don't want to say I'm embarrassed to own, because I own the first one in the series. I don't own the third one, and then I do. And for me, the fighting games of this franchise are the best fighting games, in my opinion, out of any fighting game, closely followed by Smash. 2 polar opposite fighting games. But Dead or Alive Extreme 2 Beach Volleyball, it doesn't actually say that, but that's what this is. It's Extreme Beach Volleyball. So this is one of those titles that, like, you don't want to have to buy it, but, like, I need it for the videos. I do love the fighting games. I will say Dead or Alive is my favorite fighting game. I just love Dead or Alive. I like Rio and Kasumi. Those are my two mains that I play as personally. I like, what's her name? I want to say Ayani, which is, let me look in here. Oh man, now I feel a little pervy looking in here, but they got full spreads in here. Full spreads in here. It even gives their sizes. Well, now I have to find it. Is it Ayani? Oh, Zach's in here too. Okay, so Zach's always like the ringleader of the island. Is it Ayani? I think it is. Or is it Hitomi? I don't know. Maybe it was Hitomi. Definitely Kasumi and Rio are like the mains that I love in the fighting game. Rio because it's Ninja Gaiden, and then Kasumi just because she's got that which reminds me of what's that game? Fucking Ken's Raid, Fish of the North Star, that guy. Because you know, and she even kind of like makes the same noise. There's no way Itagaki didn't base that noise and that thing off of that show. There's just no way. But Dead or Alive, Extreme Beach 2, Volleyball, Tecmo, Ninja Gaiden. This was when Itagaki was still there, when my boy was still at Tecmo. Ninja Gaiden's never going to be the same. I don't, you know, there's rumors floating around that there's a new Ninja Gaiden and or maybe some double remasters coming out at this point, which I'd be okay with. They just really amped up those graphics to like DirectX 12 and like fully redid all the foliage and the scenery and everything. I'd be more than content with fully remastered Ninja Gaiden games. All right, so the last one here. This case is unfortunately broken too, and I was kind of bummed about that. But again, it's easy to swap out, but it's just like, obviously he didn't send it this way. It was just shitty UPS or USPS. So this came from the Canadian Post, and then it obviously got converted into USPS. And when I got the box, you can kind of see that they smushed the shit out of it, and it sucks because he actually, it was 6, 6, and 5 games is how he wrapped it. Each were wrapped and then taped. Then he had a layer on the bottom and a layer on the top. So it was wrapped very professionally, very well. I will give him that. So really it was just because they smashed the box. The last one here is something that is very difficult to find because it's kind of been known to be rare for some time now. And I'm glad I got a copy of it finally. And I'm a big car guy. Hell, I'm wearing a car t-shirt from a car show that I went to many years ago. And that being Import Tuner Challenge for the 360. So unfortunately, when I did open the box up, the case was completely destroyed, much like Knight's Contract. If I did or didn't show that, I don't remember. It's unfortunate, but you know, it just kind of is what it is. None of the discs or manuals or inserts got messed up, so that's, I guess, kind of the important part. Cases can easily be swapped out. Something that I didn't know was that this thing has a huge manual in it. This thing is freaking huge. There's like a lot to this manual. It's very, very robust. And the car ride home as a kid, this would be a meaty manual to read all the things. But yeah, this is the last game in the box here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab the other 2 games. I wasn't going to show them, but I did get them from the same seller, so I may as well show them. Hold that thought. All right, guys. So the last 2 here are now arguably, let's say, top 20 to top 10 rare Xbox 360 normal edition games, excluding limiteds and specials and all that shit. But normal edition games, these are, I would say they're probably top 10 rare games at this point. Well, one of them top 10 for sure. The other one, let's say, top 30. So I will show the top 30-ish rare one just because it's rare because nobody bought this fucking game when it came out. And for the longest time, again, shout out my boy Fancy Action Now. I remember him showing it in a video and him unboxing it and then being like, check out this game that I got. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember that one. And again, I kind of always knew it was exclusive, but I never really thought about it, and I never thought that it would go up in price. I never thought that this shit would skyrocket 900% in the span of like 2 or 3 weeks, to where you can't even get a copy of this for under $200, which sucks now. However, luckily enough for me, I bought them right before they were going up, and this guy did have these. So the whole big package came from buying these 2 individual games. I paid, shamelessly, I almost paid more in shipping for each of these than the games themselves. But when I show you what they are, you're going to be like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Like I was mentioning, Fancy Action Now, he had shown this in a little, short unboxing video thing, and he talked about how it, it was going to become rare or whatever. And at the time of him showing it, I think it was like a $16 on average game. And then quickly, almost what seemed like overnight, this is now a $200 game. And that being Infernal Hell's Vengeance for the 360. So I'm not going to say what I paid for it, but it was a good price. Again, it was I kind of caught it right before it went up in price. However, obviously I'm keeping it because it is exclusive, and frankly, I kind of want to play this game now. It actually looks decent, decent little game. It's like a cool little third person, or is it first person? No, it's third person. I feel like it almost even kind of plays sort of Gears of War like, where you cover shooter or whatever, which was very popular back in the day, in this time era. But yeah, so I got this one. At the same, later, an hour later, I was still cruising this guy's website, and I was like, oh my god, he has both of them. So I've already shown this in a short that I bought it, and that being Autobahn Palese, or Palese, however the hell you say it, I have no idea. So again, he had both these. I shipped them both individually like an idiot, because I was just frantically clicking on shit. I'm like, oh my god, he has it, I need it for the videos. Now, again, this one I actually genuinely want to play, and it looks kind of fun. Autobahn Palese, to be honest with you, it doesn't look terrible. It kind of reminds me of like a Burnout type, crashy type kind of thing, like the crash mode that they have in Burnout. Is kind of what it looks like. I haven't played it yet. There's also the other Burnout or Autobahn Crash Time 2, which is part of the same franchise. There's actually 5 games in the series. However, America and Canada, for that matter, and I guess Mexico, for that matter, only got the Crash Time Autobahn and then the Autobahn Palese are the only 2 that we got. The other 3 are only in Europe. But yeah, so I grabbed these 2 from the same guy as well. So really happy to add both of these to the collection for a very, very good price. He does, I believe, still might have a couple copies of these if you're trying to get them. However, I think the prices have gone up slightly, just would be my assumption. But again, very cool guy. Definitely going to link that down in the description. I'll link Tyler Stevenson down there, as well as my buddy Fancy Action Now. So those are, I don't know, I guess that's 21 Xbox 360 exclusives that I showed you, and the Max Payne 3 is not exclusive. But yeah, so GameStop is now going to start selling retro stuff again. I guess they've finally woken up and realized that they can't just not have retro stuff in the stores anymore. They just can't do it. They have to have games there. They need to get rid of the t-shirts. They need to get rid of the Funko Pops. They need to get rid of all the dumb nonsense that's, not gaming related. You want to have a Metroid t-shirt in there? By all means, do it. You want to have Tomb Raider backpacks? Okay, it'd be a little weird, but at least it's game related. When you have Funko Pops of X-Men and other movies and stuff that aren't even game related, why are they in the game store? It's literally called GameStop. You stop there for video games. Why you got a bunch of nonsense in there that's not video games? It's just stupid. GameStop, for the longest time, to me, seems like they just want to go out of business, in my opinion. That's what it seems like. But nice little pickup video. A little bit of a longer video, but I just kind of wanted to unbox that and show everything in that one. So definitely been having fun collecting 360 stuff. I will say that all of these 2 stacks and this stack, are all 360 games that I haven't even shown on the channel yet. Most of that is exclusive to the Xbox. So it is a lot of games. There are a lot of 360 exclusives. I have diligently been trying to buy up every game as cheaply as possible, just so that I can make the A to Z list, because it's my thing, it's my niche, that's what I like, it's what I want to do, it's the content I like, it's the content you guys like to watch. Yes, the videos are coming. OG Xbox stuff is still going to finish before I start the 360 videos, but I just kind of wanted to show this one just because, frankly, I was just excited and wanted to show it to you guys, because it was a lot of cool games there for, not going to name the prices, but they were very good prices to me, and very grateful that I was able to nab all that stuff up at good prices while I was able to. So, and then, and even then, some of these are duplicates, and I can just give them to my cousin for his complete set of 360 stuff. He's as well doing that with me at the same time. I already had a lot of 360 exclusives up here. I guess you guys can see some of that maybe. This is like all the RPGs and stuff, the Gears, the Halos, you know, all that kind of stuff. I already have a lot of it. Saints Row, you know. But yeah, so he's doing that with me as well. I think he's one game away from the OG Xbox exclusive full list. Obviously, I have them all, but he's been whittling it down because he has like this weird idea that he just doesn't want to buy them online, which, you know, I respect that. He wants to be true game hunter and get them in the wild, so to speak. The last game that he needs to get is Cyanide for the original Xbox. Very expensive at this point in time. It's like an $80 to $100 game, and he just doesn't want to pay that much, which I don't blame him. I think I paid $40 for mine, so still kind of pricey. But yeah, that's the last game he needs to get for the OG Xbox exclusives. I want to, I guess, also add one final thing to the video here, guys. Just on a personal note, it's way at the end of the video. If you're still watching this, you're a real one. You probably actually enjoy the channel, and you actually hit the like button and the subscribe button. But yeah, I am now working 6 to 7 days a week. Just kind of is what it is. The weekends are more or less supplemental income to try to help out with game hunting and just other bills and this and that. And because of that, it's kind of obviously taking away from time from recording gameplay and being able to make content in general. So the videos, I don't know, I hate to say it, but they're kind of going to be a little more sparse again for a little while, at least as far as like stuff that's going to have actual gameplay in it and that kind of stuff. However, shorts and, you know, pickups videos and that kind of stuff can still obviously happen because they don't take too much effort to make the video. But yeah, so that's just kind of what's going on. That's probably going to happen for a little while. Just have some life stuff going on as far as work goes till that gets figured out. That's pretty much just kind of what's going on and why the videos have kind of slowed down lately, because I've just been working my ass off trying to make as much money as I can. And yeah, that's the long and short of that. And so the Xbox video, again, it's still coming. They're actually over there, the N and O titles. However, it is like 23 games, and I have to record all the gameplay for it. It's just it's a lot of work. You guys have no idea how much work goes into making one of those videos. And you know, I want to do it to my standards and my quality that I like to do it at. So it's going to take time. It just is what it is. It's the unfortunate nature of living in America and having to work so much to try to stay alive and survive, so to speak. But it'll come out whenever it comes out. So just stay ready for it. Hit that ring bell, the bell notification, so you'll be ready for it when it does come out. But this is already going on long enough at this point. It's like a 40, 50-minute video. So it is what it is. If you watched all of it, I appreciate it. Believe me, I do. Peace out for now, guys. Till next time.
Come here, you motherfucker! Oh, shit. This is it, baby.